So I noticed that this input shaft seal was leaking, and then
so we're gonna pull these bolts off.
During diagnosing it and checking it out, I noticed how loose it was. So we're gonna tear into it and see if it's, you know, just the outer bearing or the inner bearing, or what all is actually wrong with it. So this is the pinion shaft, and that's what drives your front axle. And so I got it all pulled apart. I got that pulled out, and then I noticed, you know, this shouldn't really just come out. And so this bearing is actually supposed to sit like that right there, and then that snap ring holds it on. But that bearing's completely gone. So inside the differential, your input shaft sits in there, and when it turns your ring and pinion, and that's what actually drives the machine. And so it sits in there and turns like that. So when that bearing came apart in there, it sent the bearing between them, and that's what ripped all the teeth off. So this is some of the remnants that's left in the front axle housing. You can see all the chips and the pieces that's been broke off that's still in there that I need to get cleaned out. And then you can see how all these teeth are broke off of the ring gear. So we're gonna have to try to find a new ring gear. Now this machine is built in 1967, so these parts are really hard to find. They stopped making them 40 years ago, so it's gonna be a little tough one to try to find the parts at a reasonable price. So I did finally track down, after 2 days of searching, I tracked down a ring and pinion for this thing. I found like one of them in the whole United States, but it's very expensive, so this might be the end of logging for me.